In this video, I'll show you how you can use the Redis cache on your server powered by SPanel. So let's first log into the SPanel admin interface and then navigate to the user interface for one of the accounts on the server. The Redis cache manager can be found under the software section in SPanel. And once you click on the Redis cache icon, you will have an option to activate Redis for this account. In SPanel, each individual account may have its own Redis instance protected by password, which is the ideal way to run Redis, because if you have multiple accounts, you don't want each of them to be able to see the cache stored in Redis for the other accounts. Clicking on this toggle will activate Redis. It happens very quickly, it takes a second or two. Once Redis is activated, here you can see the credentials you need to use in order for your application to be able to connect and authenticate to Redis and store data there, which can then be accessed very, very quickly because Redis stores all data in the RAM, in the memory of the server. That makes that data accessible like 75 times faster than accessing it from the NVMe SSD storage. So having Redis cache activated for your website or application, whatever it is actually a must nowadays if you want your application to be ultra fast and not to waste server resources, because for example you can store many things in the Redis memory and access it after that, not to waste CPU resources. For example, database queries can be stored there, and all of those select queries that happen to your database, which is usually more than 80% of the database queries, they will be served directly by Redis, which will save you tons of CPU resources. Here you can configure Redis, how much memory you will allow this Redis cache instance to use, the maximum connections, the timeout, keep alive, and the memory policy you can configure here. In the statistics section, you can see how much memory Redis is actually using and how many clients are connected and getting information from Redis to serve your application visitors or request or website visitors. Here you can see how many requests hit the cache and how many missed the cache. And you can also monitor what Redis is doing. If you run it like this, basically this will start a monitoring process which will check what Redis has been doing for the last 5 seconds. And here you will receive the output, basically to make sure that Redis is functioning correctly. It's very easy and very secure because each account on SPanel has its own dedicated Redis instance.